In this video, we will give you a short introduction to the game-based learning approach behind the Demogames project. If you want to know more about the differences between gamification, game-based learning, and serious games, please look at our other video in this MOOC first. Most of you will probably know about some games that have been used in educational settings. Especially the use of digital and online games in teaching and training has gained attention in recent years. Analog games, on the other hand, have been around for quite some time, and this is the type of game our project Demogames mostly focuses on. Therefore, we will start now with an overview of the most common types of analog games used in game-based learning, and then dive a bit deeper into the learning theory behind both analog and digital game-based learning approaches. There are several types of games which are used in formal and non-formal educational settings. Let's talk about a few analog examples. First, quizzes are fairly well known and easily to implement in educational settings. Second, leaderboards and badges are some game elements that have been used in educational events as well. Third, haptic games like building blocks and puzzles engage especially the skills of learners in particular. Fourth, board games and card games are a type of game that is more frequently now also included in educational settings. Fifth, role-playing games is another type of game that engages especially the perspective taking of players, which take on the role of a certain character in these type of games. Finally, the more complex or long-term games which you can play within educational settings are simulations like the Model United Nation or the simulation of the European Parliament. But how does game-based learning work, both analog and digital? How do we structure the process of game-based learning? Game-based learning processes build on the ideas of experiential learning. The philosopher and educational reformer John Dewey, for example, states that all genuine education comes about through experience. To make the most of experiences, experiential learning theory states that they have to be embedded in a learning process and flanked by reflecting, thinking, and acting. The game-based learning exercises that we propose in the Demogames manual integrate all four of these elements of experiential learning. Let's walk through them one by one. Demogames game-based learning exercises usually start with an input phase, centered on introducing participants to the abstract concepts surrounding democracy, as well as the rules of the game to be played. The input phase can be fairly short and only set the stage for the gameplay experience of your participants. It can, however, also be longer and include exercises which allow participants to get to know each other and already engage in thinking about democracy. The next phase, in which the game is played, provides participants with the possibility to make new experiences with each other. They can actively experiment and make concrete experiences. Games allow participants to actively experiment either with different roles or perspectives or with different strategies and actions. That way, each gameplay experience can be different depending on the players, the setting, and the way they are facilitated. This also means you can play these games several times with the same group if you have the time for it and if players want to. Finally, after a game has been played, the facilitator can also plan an output phase. This optional phase includes additional exercises which circle back to the topics that have been dealt with in the game to get the participants thinking further on the topic. The output phase, therefore, can contribute to both reflection and thinking. However, most importantly, at the end of a game-based learning process, a debriefing of the gameplay experience has to take place. Such a debriefing includes a guided reflection on the experiences made by the participants. It engages all participants in reflecting on their experiences and helps them to connect these experiences to their real-life circumstances. The Demogames manual, as well as additional videos of this MOOC, are dedicated to provide facilitators with potential questions for debriefing and more information on how to structure it.